This is the story about an African American woman who is passionate about professional wrestling and goes to countless events. She then, one day, gets the idea to start a wrestling talk podcast to talk about her favorite wrestlers and wrestling programs. She has a home podcasting room full of wrestling memorabilia that she uses to do the show, and every week you can tune in and join in the conversation.
Well, welcome, my gems. Welcome to Rumble Time. I am your host, Queen Gemini, and we got a lot to talk about, my darlings. Oh, we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna kick this show off. We're gonna start with SmackDown. We gotta talk about SmackDown. Oh, we gotta talk about SmackDown. I'm not gonna jump into that one just yet, but we go. The night started off, and what was his name? Ricky Saint, who was the NXT champion at that time. Um, and Oba Femi was asked to come to SmackDown, and so they was like, "Okay, Nick, what you want with us?" And then Cody comes in. He was like, "Okay, Cody, you tell them why they're here." And it was announced that whoever was the winner in their match, which was Saturday, would face Cody at Saturday night main event. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I hope you know what you're asking for, but okay. So that's why they was there. I was like, okay, this is getting good. Then we find out that Bailey will be facing NXT's Sol Ruka. And I'm like, oh, this is getting even better. Saturday night main event is shaping up. It's shaping up. Oh, now the night goes by. This Solo and his little folk, they go to the ring. Solo doing his little thing, throwing shade and everything. And he going to end it, which actually was a good shade. It was good, but it would have worked if he was still in that place, in that frame of mind. When somebody done moved on over to the dark side, yeah, that ain't gonna work. He said that he said something, and then he said, if I believe. And I was like, oh, you throwing shade at his old gimmick. Oh, we gonna do that. Oh, that's what we doing now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't do that to somebody that has now switched over to the dark side. Because he said he was gonna take everything away from Uncle Howdy. Everything, you know. Yeah. So they showed up. Don't be calling out nothing you don't want. Honey, the Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six showed up. Uncle Howdy was standing face to face with him. And he looking at him like, what? Now this part, when I say was funny, and I I kind of feel bad. I kind of feel bad for JC. First it was the first it was the face paint. They had the man in the face paint. He looked like Kung Fu. He looked like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But he did. He looked like Kung Fu Panda. And then on Friday, why did Nikki Cross jump on that man like a spider monkey? When I say she was holding on, and he just waving around, and I'm like, dude, ball or something. Just stop flinging around like that, cause you making it worse. Y'all, he finally threw her down, and he got kicked in the face. I was like, you should just kept her on your back, cause that would have saved you from that boot to the face. But it ended up with what's his name, Tala Tonga and Eric Rowan in the ring. They facing off. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. Come on now, let's see who gonna win this. Honey, when it was all said and done, Eric Rowan was standing tall. I'm like, them ain't the problems that y'all wanted tonight, huh? So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this feud. I can't wait to see where this goes. If they work it right, this is gonna be wonderful. You know, creep them out a few times. Hey, I'm all for it.
Hey, yeah. Them two big mother. I want to see them get it on.
Yes, I do too. I do too. Cause I'm like, this is lovely. I like this. I'm adoring this. Mm. Now that was a wonderful highlight. And then we got to the part that is the reason why I have this nest on my head. So yeah, y'all know I bring this out when they have really upset me, and they have upset me this time. So it's time to bring this down. Anybody that did not see my little video on IG, I told you the crash out was coming, and here it's time for it, because we get the Gunther and the LA Knight match, and I gotta give LA Knight his props. He did his all. He put everything he had into that match. It's really hard when you got somebody to keep doing the same moves over and over and over. I gotta give LA Knight gets on my nerves. Y'all know how I feel about him, because I told he's just a copy. But I can live at this point. I can live with it, because at least he comes up with other stuff. He's not doing the same thing over. He can have a match, and you can be entertained by him. Gunther doing the same thing over and over and over. I'm like, if you chop him one more time, I'm coming through this TV. And please explain to me. I want to know why. You know what? We could have just not had the daggone tournament. The tournament was a waste of time. Seeing that they Gunther won the daggone match. That's right, y'all. Gunther won. And he is going to face John Cena in his last match. Please tell me why. Why we got to see this. This is going to be I would rather watch paint dry than watch him face John Cena. Because all he's going to do is the same crap he always does. And then Monday night, I'm gonna make you give up something you have never done. I'm gonna make you give up. I'm like, somebody attack him in the back before he even get to the ring. Nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see this. I don't know what Triple H and creative is thinking. Nobody wants to see this. This is not what we want to see. We are tired of seeing Gunther. Gunther is dull. Gunther is boring. I don't even like to hear him on the mic. When he comes on to start talking, I start doing other things. That is not good. But no, we can't have nice things. Now, speaking of John's last match, I do not know what's wrong with people. I don't even know what universe they living in nowadays. This lets me know people that have followed John's career from the time that he debuted, came out there against Kurt Angle, the whole ruthless aggression thing and everything, all the way up until now. Because John has requested that his match is the first match of the night. It kicks off the show. This is John's request.
No, 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 no. This a bad dude. John, this
No,
a bad dude.
no, no. I see what John is doing.
All right, talk to us, Queen. What's happening? What's happening?
Okay. John has always been about giving the young talent, new talent opportunities. Remember when he was United States champion, what he have? The open challenge for that title. So, what he is doing, I'm going ahead, I'm going to first, I'm kicking off the show. It started basically it's starting with me. I'm going to end my career, and this is the future because Oba is going to be on that card. So Ruka is going to be on that card. Javon Evans and Leon Slater will face AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the tag team titles. Those are NXT stars. The old going out for the new. That's what he is doing. He's not making it all about him. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm kind of sad. This is it. But this is the future. Everybody knows John has always been all about the business.
Okay, and I get that. But here's the thing, Queen. He has the first match. He
Yes.
loses said match. He loses said match. They lose said audience. I ain't really trying to see the rest of, even though I know the rest of those guys are good, especially Evans. I ain't never seen Evans wrestle. That's a good dude. But you lose the audience if he loses. I hope that ain't what they got him in.
Yeah and no. Some are saying, well, once he wrestles, I'm going to go. Okay, bye. I'm not going because I want to see. I want to see what Ruka can do against Bailey. I want to see what Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I want to see what they can do against AJ and Dragon Lee. Javon is bad all by. I love Javon. That boy is bad. I want to see what they can do up against these are especially AJ. Cause see, Leon is the X Division champion, okay, for TNA. So you got the current X Division champion going up against a former X Division champion. Oh yeah, I want to see this. Cause Leon ain't no joke himself. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. And oh Lord, I am most definitely. I ain't finna miss Oba.
Now understand, we wrestling heads. Okay, so that's one thing. But
Yeah,
I'm thinking because this is John Cena's final match, everybody that's, what's the word I'm looking for? Basic wrestling fans, those are the people that will tune in that normally don't tune in to
and
Saturday Night Main Event just to
right.
see John Cena. The people that's not even wrestling fans, they're just John Cena fans in general from the movies and whatnot. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
people who pop in.
They're
They
gonna
ain't
pop
trying to see that
in
brother lose.
and they're gonna pop out. But those diehard fans, the ride or dies, is gonna stay all the way through. Because something that these basic fans need to realize, these guys are your future. Okay? You turned on Jay Uso, so now he's back to tagging with his brother. They made that announcement last night. He done crashed out last Monday night. Now he's back this Monday. They make the announcement. We back tag teaming. Like, all because y'all couldn't get behind. You was behind him long enough for him to get the title. Then I didn't like how he lost the title. And I'm still going to say this. I'm going to say this forever. The only reason why he lost that title is because Goldberg had to have one last match, but he didn't want to have it against somebody of color. He didn't want that loss to go in the record book to Roman. It was still going to be a loss. It was still gonna be a loss, but it would have went in to Roman. But y'all couldn't just get behind Jay and stay behind Jay and back Jay up. So now Jay's back to tagging with his brother. That's why I do not like these basic fans, because they flip flop. They with you one day and then the next day they don't like you. Me, I'm an Undertaker fan. I was an Undertaker fan from the time I seen that man in WCW all the way up until the day he retired. Now, y'all know I like Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns is my guy now. That's my tribal chief. Now, when The Undertaker faced Roman Reigns, who do you think I rooted for? You got it. Because my husband was like, well, wait a minute. Both your guys are in the ring. Who are you cheering for? I said, I don't mean no harm, but I known Undertaker longer than I known Roman. He was like, you don't know that man. I said, you know what I mean.
I mean, same here. You know, I was cool with Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and all that, but you know, Queen, because me and you talk, you know, my man's all day, every day was the Macho Man.
Was the Macho Man.
So when it was up to him against anybody else, I was Macho Man all day long. Ooh yeah.
So I was when Roman beat him at that Mania. I like to crash. I mean, I crashed out. And that Monday night, when they booed Roman so bad, I was booing with them. And he said, it's my yard now. I said, honey, it will never be your yard. So you might as well stop saying it's your yard. I was all mad at Roman, all up in my feelings about Roman. I was like, you better go on some daggone well with that mess. Now, when I really got into Roman, when he came back and he started spearing people, and I was like, well, this was during the COVID time. I'm like, hold on. Does this mean he's a bad guy? Because he speared Bray, and then he speared Braun. I said, well, wait a minute, he a heel? I'm like, wait a minute, I might can work with this. I'm like, yeah, let's see where this gonna go. And then that Monday night, he was with Paul Heyman. I almost fell off my bed. I was like, y'all looking at this? And my husband was like, who's y'all? It's just me and you in here. Who is you seeing something? Is you all right? Because that's just how shocked I was. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. And this man has given us the best wrestling we have had in a long time. You talking about some good storytelling. That was some good storytelling. So Saturday night's main event, it's gonna be a lot of folks that's gonna, they're gonna tune in to see John and then they're gonna leave. Well, it is what it is. Bye. See you when I see you. But I'm staying for Oba. I'm staying for Solo. I'm staying for Javon and Leon and AJ and Dragon Lee. Cause honey, do you get that tag team match? I'm gonna be on pins and needles. I ain't gonna know who to cheer for. I'm just gonna say let the best team win. At that point. So now we gotta jump. We gotta talk about Saturday. We gotta talk about Saturday because see, NXT had a PLE, and you can see NXT PLEs on Peacock. Now I gotta find out. I gotta do some research and see how this gonna play out because they saying that the contract for Peacock is about to run out. It'll be expiring soon. So I need to see where NXT is going to go. And this was the last PLE for NXT for the year.
Okay, now let me jump in here. Because this is kind of side related, but look, As you know, if you've been paying attention to the news last few days, the studio, which is Warner Brothers, is up for sale. And right now, the bidding war is on. Now, Friday, we thought Netflix said, look, here about 80 billion. Here you go. Let us get some of that. Let us get most of that. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, and keep in mind, y'all just don't understand how much Warner Brothers runs and owns in terms of television and film. Pretty much any major film you could think of in the last 50 years that wasn't Pixar or something like that, it Warner Brothers, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
then they own half the TV studios and all that. So that being said, Paramount was like, oh no, y'all hold my beer. And they
Mm-hmm.
came this week with 108 billion and said,
Mm-hmm.
damn the parts, we want all of it. We want
Mm-hmm.
every bit of it. And keep in mind when we talk about that, that includes stuff like Peacock, stuff like ESPN, WWE partnership, all that will come into play if that deal goes down. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Understand, if they buy Warner Brothers, they will own the rights to all the old TNT stuff, which means all the old NWA stuff. They'll own the rights to all the WCW stuff. They'll own the rights to just about every wrestling thing that's not WWE, that's not owned by Disney right now, which includes Peacock. Not to mention, in another instant twist, they'll also own CNN. And you
Um,
know how the president feels about CNN. Did I mention that this Paramount deal is with the company, and one of the big people in that company at Paramount is the president's son-in-law? So yeah, this gets real interesting.
well, W WWE has announced today that they're moving their library. They're starting to move their library onto their YouTube onto their YouTube channel. So what you're seeing on Peacock will be leaving from Peacock and will be on their YouTube channel. Yeah, they're starting to move their stuff. Mm-hmm. All that stuff will be starting to move over to Peacock. So I mean, from over to their YouTube channel. So they move their stuff from there over to the YouTube channel. You think about those. That's going one. That's going to boost up their channel. That's going to boost up their channel. Two, that Peacock is going to lose out on money because if that happens, they move everything. They're starting to move it, and they move everything from there over to the channel, over to the YouTube channel. I'm not paying for no Peacock. If if there's no longer a deal in place for NXT to be, for their PLEs are gonna go somewhere else. I'm not paying for no Peacock. Well, yeah, but see, they still make DVDs, and long there's a Prime Video. If I can either buy it on Prime Video or buy the DVD, I still don't need Peacock. Oh yes, and we're gonna talk about Tubi because I got something to tell y'all about Tubi. But hold on, that's gonna be at the end of the show. Don't let me forget. Okay, now we gotta talk about NXT PLE. It was Deadline. Okay, that was the PLE. Now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the two of these matches. Usually I do them in order by how they went and stuff, but we're gonna knock out two of the matches because we didn't have to have the matches. I mean, honestly, we did not have to have the matches. I was like, "Are you serious? You just wasted my time for nothing. I don't appreciate this because I already knew who was gonna win." Um,
All right, well, you do that. Some quick announcements. Shout out to Latonya Carter, Leroy, Jack, my nephew, and also Big Q. They all are tuning in right now. What's going on, y'all?
hey y'all, glad you're here. Thank you for tuning in. Okay. The for the this was for the NXT North American Championship. That's this belt. Uh, Ethan Page, the champion, faced Mr. Iguana. Ethan won. I don't even know why we had this match because I ain't seen Mr. Iguana beat Ethan yet. I'm like, why are we doing this? He ain't gonna win. Then we had a match between Izzy and Tatum. Tatum was the women NXT Women's Champion, but Izzy caused her to lose her championship. So they was friends at one point, and Izzy has these two little flunkies that run around with her, and they helped her win the match. But Tatum is the type. She's like borderline, at the dark side. And if you keep messing with her, you're gonna push her over the edge. And I think with that match, they done pushed her over the edge. So this feud ain't done yet. It's not done. And I'm not giving up on Tatum. Tatum finna come out swinging. They're gonna wish they hadn't messed with her. I feel sorry for them in a way. Cause she did one move on Izzy. I ain't never seen no move. I ain't never seen. I don't. They didn't even have a name for it. Cause Booker T and them didn't know what to say. And she performed it on the announce table, and I was like, "Ow!" I'm holding my head. I was literally sitting here, y'all, Saturday, holding my head like she had did it to me. I'm like, "Oh, the girl don't get up no more messing with that girl. Leave that girl alone." Because you shouldn't have been messing with her in the first place. You shouldn't have made her lose her title. And then I realized, why is you holding your head? You ain't got nothing to do with this. That's how bad it was. I'm telling you, that move, they got to come up with a name for that or something. Now, for the first time in NXT history, the Miz Championship was the first match. And I'm like, oh, that's what we do? Okay, all right. I'm with you. I'm all for it. So Ricky Stanks, the champion, faced Oba Femi. Yeah, I don't. Ricky got lucky when he won the title off of Oba. I said that, because Oba ain't no joke. If I had to fight Oba, I'm coming with a baseball bat. And I ain't talking about one of them little plastic bats, one of them little wooden bats that can break. I'm coming with a metal bat. I'm like, come on. Okay, I'm ready. Come on. Because Oba ain't no joke. I kind of felt bad for Ricky because Opa's choke slam is called a fall from grace. I gotta find out how tall Oba actually is because, yeah, when he took Ricky up, I'm like, Ricky ain't gonna make it. When he choke slammed him the first time and Ricky kicked out, I was like, oh, Ricky, you
Okay,
shouldn't have did that.
from the research department, Oba Femi is 6'6".
Woo! Mm. See, I was right. I told Ricky, you shouldn't have kicked out. You shouldn't have kicked out. You should have just laid there, honey. You should have laid there and took that three because I didn't know what Oba was gonna do. Oba grabbed him by his throat and took him up again. I was like, oh Lord, he finna do another fall from grace. Oh, this man ain't gonna, oh, you ain't getting up this time. And sure enough, when he did that second fall from grace, next thing I know, I heard 1, 2, 3. And the new NXT champion, Oba Femi. I was like, see, I told you you should just went ahead and lay there. You wouldn't have had to suffer twice. Now, they have, and I remember them having this last year, but I really wasn't paying attention that much, to NXT. But I've really started getting more into NXT because these are our future, superstars. So, um, they have a men's and women's. Let me make sure I say it right. Iron Survivor Challenge. Okay, and this year, John Cena picked the participants for the men and for the women, and it was five participants. It's a 25-minute time limit. Now it goes by how many points you get. The one with the most points wins. Okay, so if you get pinned, you have to go into the penalty box for 90 seconds, and then you come back in. Now, woo! When I say them women, oh, they had me on my pin. I was on pins and needles. Okay. Now okay. At first, I didn't think Sol Ruka was gonna make it because let me just go through the list of who all participated. It was Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Jordan Grace, and Kendall Gray. You start off with two, and then I forgot how long, and then then a second, then a third, till everybody's in there. It's a 25-minute time limit, and that 25 minutes, you do your thing. You get as many points as you possibly can get. Soul was the last one to enter the ring. Well, she was the last one to come in. So before she could get in there, Kalani attacked her, and we thought she had took her knee out. She had already was having issues with her knee. So I'm like, oh, they taking her to the back. She ain't gonna be able to participate. She's out. Yeah, right. She said, you don't know. You must not know about me. You better check my record. Because she showed back up to that ring and got 2 pinfalls on a bad knee. I said, hold on. I said, oh, girl. I'm like, hold on. I'm liking you now. Hold on. I gotta keep up with you.
Got my brother Hugh checking in. What's going on, Hugh?
Hey, Hugh. On a bad knee, she got 2 pinfalls. As soon as she hit that ring, I said, now, I ain't mad at you. It got down to the point, y'all, that we had a 5-way tie. Everybody had 2 points, and everybody was fighting. When I say them women was fighting, they was fighting to get that last point. They was doing everything they could to get that last point. I was on pins and needles. I was like, oh, who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? And what's her name? Kendall Gray she got that 3rd point, and she came out the winner. So she will get a chance to face the NXT Women's Champion at NXT New Year's Evil. So I was impressed. I'm impressed because I was like, now y'all doing better than some of these on SmackDown and on Raw, and these are vets. I mean, it was entertaining, y'all. If you get a chance, go back and look at it. I'm telling you. Then we had the men's. The men's was the main event, and for the men's we had Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox, and Miles Bourne. When I say y'all, the guys brought it. Now, at one point, I want to say it was Miles. Miles had locked Javon and the ref into the penalty box. Javon said, "You must, you, yeah, you, yeah, you ain't been paying attention to me or something. Why this honey, he done scaled the box and came over the top. He was like, nah, we ain't finna end this like this. When I said them men was fight, everybody, now we ended up with a 5-way tie. Everybody had 1 point. I'm like, okay. Now that clock was running down quick. I'm like, did somebody speed the clock up or something? Javon got that last point. He got that second point, and Javon won the Iron Man. So he will face the men's NXT men's champion and New Year's Evil. Well, we had a little surprise. What's his name? Tony D'Angelo. Tony he was, let's see, NXT champion at one point. I want to say he was the North American champion at one point too. Yeah, he had a whole little family. They had a little, you know how they have the little breakups and everything. And he had to beat his little, his little friend down. And then he went away. We didn't see him for a while. Well, he showed back up and attacked Javon. And Oprah was out there like, what? What's that supposed to mean to me? And that's how it went off.
All right,
But
so
it was,
yeah, here's the highlight videos, y'all. If y'all want to check it out, that's the women's challenge one, and that's the men challenge one.
thank you.
Also,
So,
Hugh checking back in. He said, "Who is the masked man?" And he says, "I'm also hearing rumors that it was Ricky Saint that was the masked man."
okay, okay. Let me close this out. So, and we're going to start with the questions. Okay. So, yeah, their deadline, NXT deadline, it was good. I give it to the, like I, now the Mr. Iguana and Ethan Page. We didn't have to have that because we knew Ethan was gonna win, but everything else was on point. Now let's get down to the questions. Yes, okay. The Mystery Man. Mystery Man attacked on last night. He jumped on LA Knight. LA Knight didn't have a chance last night, which made me mad, and I rolled over and went to sleep because I was upset. And then 2 Tons of Fun done jumped on him and tsunamied him on top of a car, truck, or whatever that was. And like, come on, y'all got to stop him from doing this crap. And so now LA Knight being rolled off to the hospital. And the Mystery Man attacked twice last night. First it was Ray, then it was LA Knight. So now at first we was thinking it was Austin Theory. I'm like, and I keep looking at him, and I'm like, no, I don't think you Austin. So now I'm kind of leaning towards Ricky Saints because of the way Ricky was talking. Ricky was all in his feelings about what if I can't beat Oba. You can't beat Oba. You beat Oba by a fluke. To be honest, that was just a fluke. That was by accident. I mean, I'm just saying. So, and he kept saying, you could tell he was all in his feelings. And Javon was trying to talk to him and, trying to, encourage him, say, you'll bounce back, everything gonna be all right. And you could tell he wasn't hearing it. He wasn't hearing it. So I'm kind of leaning towards Ricky Saints as being the man in black. That's just my bet. That's who I'm leaning towards. So I'm going with Ricky Saints. So they need to, hurry up and do this reveal soon. Soon, because I won't know now. Okay, E. We had some questions.
Yes, we did.
So
All
let
right. Question one, they want to know what was your thoughts on Obafemi. You already talked about that there. He a big dude. That's my thoughts. Another person asked, they want to know what happened to Hell in a Cell this year. Are we going to see it again?
okay. Oba is a beast. Oba ain't nothing to play with. I'm ready. I see him going up to the main roster. I see him as a main event guy. I see him holding either one of the world titles. I see him as a Grand Slam champion at some point in his career. Um, as long as they don't drop the ball. Do not drop the ball like you did with Omos. Um, Oba, yeah, Saturday night is gonna be everybody's introduction. Anybody that has not seen NXT, don't know nothing about Oba, have no clue because they don't watch NXT. You gonna know Saturday night. I feel sorry for Cody. I really do. Cause yeah, Cody ain't ready for that man. He's not ready for him. I'm telling y'all, them ain't the problems that Cody won't. But I ain't got nothing to do with that. But yeah, as long as they book him correctly, Oba is a main event guy. Period. Point blank. Hell in a Cell. Why they did not have it this year, I have no clue. I'm really disappointed because that's how we get some of our best feuds going, especially going into the WrestleMania season. Is off of Hell in a Cell, and then you settle some that that ain't gonna draw no money at WrestleMania. You know that's how you end some, and that's how you get some really fired up. Is with Hell in the Cell, and it's like, what is we doing? Bring back Hell in the Cell. But I don't know if people are being sensitive about it. Oh, they're getting hurt. Okay, they'll be all right. They'll heal up. This is what they signed up for. I mean, I'm sorry. I have no. I'm telling you why. Now, some people like that's insensitive. Well, honey, you on the wrong page if you feel that way. Because I'm gonna tell you why I feel like that. The Hell in the Cell. If you have not seen it, you need to see it. With the Undertaker and Mankind is the reason I said that. Because
To this day, people, that match is one of the 5 best wrestling matches of all
all
time.
times,
To this day,
all time.
when you
And if
ask
you
Nick
rank
Foley
it
about that match, he said, I still hurt from this day from that match.
in my book, that is the number one. Hell, if you just rank the Hell in the Cell match, that match is number one. And it will always be number one. Because when Undertaker threw Mankind off of that cell, my son said, your boy going to jail. He looked at me and he said, your boy going to jail. He just took out man. He going to jail. And I was like, I'm literally holding my breath. I'm like, oh, oh.
And
He ain't
again,
moved.
you know how
Oh,
people be like, man, wrestling fake. Now we know some of it's scripted. In that moment, ain't no faking that.
ain't no.
Wasn't nothing fake about that.
I knew. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all got to go and look at that match. How severe that was. They got Mankind on the stretcher. They taking him up the ramp. When that mug got up and went back, I'm like, where you going? No, I'm like, I'm waving my arms. I'm having a whole fit. Like this man can see me. I'm trying to talk him down. Where is you going? No, don't get up there. He just threw you off. What you think he gonna do now? I'm telling y'all, look at it. Look at it. Cause honey, when I say Undertaker, Mankind got it, Terry Funk got it. I felt bad for Terry Funk. I'm like, Lord, oh, oh, I don't know what to say. Because my son was like, now explain this. Explain what could cause him to jack up everybody. I said, well, they shouldn't have been messing with him. So I don't know what the deal is for not having Hell in a Cell. If they're trying to be, well, y'all, it's kind of rough on us because some of them wrestlers are soft, and if you hit them too hard, yeah, some of them you can't hit too hard now. Let's just be honest about it. Some of them you can't hit too hard because they'll have a whole meltdown. And yeah, and the sale is kind of intense because even JBL said he faced the Undertaker in a Hell in the Cell match, and he said that's why he's not wrestling. He said it on commentary. He said that's why I'm not wrestling now because of that match.
And this is the link to the match, by the way, y'all. So check that one out too. But
So
yeah,
I'm
I mean,
hoping they will bring it back.
yeah, I know one thing. Oh, can we talk about that for a minute? I sent Queen a list the other day that I saw of the top wrestlers under 30, and the number one wrestler was Dominic Mysterio. The floor is yours.
Let me say this: ESPN made that list. I don't know who it was there that made that list, but they on some heavy medication. That's all I'm gonna say. Because he is not the best, and just as soon as I have some time, you know what? I might do that over the Christmas break and get that ready for the first of the year. I'm gonna go through the roster and I'm gonna line up every last one that's under 30, and we gonna talk about it.
But my personal, he ain't even top 5.
No, he ain't top 5 because anytime now I know he's tall, but Montel Ford, not Montel, Montez Ford is tall and he can do a frog splash perfect. When Dom do it looked like a sci-fi experiment gone wrong. I'm like, don't do that no more. Don't do that. Don't come tell me I'm paying tribute to Eddie. That's not paying tribute to Eddie.
Even RVD do a better frog splash than damn Dominic. I'm sorry.
Yes. And 9 times out of 10, he done hurt himself coming down doing it. You be like, Rob, is you all right? You okay? You gonna be okay? Come on. Just roll a little bit. Just a little bit. Just throw an arm on him. Just throw an arm on him and I'll count. That's all. Just throw an arm, a hand, a finger, or something. I'll count. I know you're hurting. Okay. Next question. Okay. They still have the Slammy Awards. Slammy Awards is during WrestleMania. Um, you have to catch Slammy Awards. It's oh my god. It's like how they have some stuff on their YouTube channel. That's usually where you'll find it. It's on the YouTube in between day 1 and day 2. It's like in between there. Um and they've added some categories because Drew has won several Slammies for social media because he's always on social media, you know, harassing somebody because he'll respond to you and say something crazy to you and stuff, you know. He'll respond to some people. Um So, but yeah, that's where they still have it. Just don't have because the it's still its own ceremony, but it's just wild how they do it now. So if you're not really thinking about it, you'll miss it. I just happened to catch it the last couple of years because I was like, oh wait a minute, the Slammies.
You know, that made me think of something just now. Maybe
Was
we
that?
should do a show down the line about wrestling traditions that no longer is that they should bring back.
Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of people don't know that Thanksgiving, they're that's when we used to have Survivor Series
Right.
on Thanksgiving Day. You used to sit up and eat like a pig,
And
and
then
then
after
you
all the
watch Survivor
football went off,
Series.
they had Survivor Series at night as opposed to the third football game they have now. You right.
Uh-huh. And see, back then we could see it for free
That's what they
before
need to
they,
bring
you
back.
know,
More free PP.
before the whole pay-per-view thing. Yeah, we could see it for free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's another one. So I'm gonna have to make me a list. What was the next question? Okay.
Pop on here. Yeah, if y'all guys have any other questions for the show, feel free to put them in our inboxes on our IG pages. Mine is Eric Hawk 45 and Queen Gemini. Your Instagram is.
I'm Queen Gemini. I want to say 70.
That sounds right. Well, anyway, we'll have them wrote down for next time to put on the screen so y'all will know. But in the meanwhile, yeah, just look up my Facebook page. We'll have them on there for you. But yeah, you have any wrestling questions you want us to address or any major comments, statements, whatever, put them in our inboxes.
And most definitely will talk about them. We'll answer. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. To end the show. End the show. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Tubi. Tubi. This is something I'll be doing over the break. Like I said, I'm gonna have to make me a list because I got a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to be doing over the holiday break. Because um I happen to be on Tubi. On Wednesday nights, see what happened was Saturday just became, well, let me back up because I gotta tell y'all about AEW really, really quick. Okay, Saturday night became, it was just wrestling. That's all I was watching. I was sitting here in my nice little area. Um, I was making some waist beads and I was sitting here watching wrestling. I came across AEW on HBO. Collide or Collision. I think it was Collision. Whatever it was. When I say I got bored and zoned all the way out, I was paying more attention to what I was making than watching them. Uh, they was doing too much talking, and yeah, it was a lot of talking. A lot of folks coming out running off at the mouth. Swerve, Swerve Strickland telling about what he was gonna do and stuff, and Duke come up behind him and just barely tapped him in the back of his knee, and he went down like a ton of bricks. I'm like, dude, I don't think you healed up yet. You might want to go back. I don't mean no harm, but you ain't ready. So after that went off, I'm like, well, I've heard about this show Evolve. WWE Evolve. So I go to Tubi and I catch last week's. episode. Apparently, it was last week's episode. And I'm checking it out. And I'm like, okay, I got to do some research and go back and see, apparently I don't, I don't miss a whole lot. So I got to get all caught up and find out what this is all about. So I'm sitting here watching it. I'm like, okay, not too bad, not too bad. Then this little guy come out. He was in a tag team match. I got to learn these people's names because I've never seen these folks before in my life. And that poor little dude, they hit that little man in his chest. I'm like, don't do the little fella like that. He don't do him like that. Cause he need to eat. Lord have mercy. Somebody feed him. Give him a couple of sandwiches or something. He too little. And then, y'all, these two big behemoths, I don't know where they got them giants from. Come barging the ring, done interrupted the match, just start jumping on everybody. I'm like, look, y'all go back to where y'all came from. Lord, y'all. And then this big dude, I thought he would come in to help the little folk. No. He knocked that poor little man down. He ran into him like a freight train. I said, now you should be ashamed of yourself. You know you are too daggone big to knock that little man down like that.
Okay.
I felt so bad for that little fella. I was like, if I was there, I'd buy him a sandwich or something. Because he need to eat. He's not eating.
From the research department, apparently there's a nice little library of stuff on Tubi for you to check out if you're a wrestling fan. Here's what you can find on Tubi. Classic wrestling shows from the legends from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. They also have documentaries on people like Gorgeous George, the Iron Sheik, and Lou Thesz. They have indie and hardcore wrestling, content from productions like Combat Zone Wrestling. They have women's wrestling, such as the original Ladies of Wrestling and the Women of Wrestling, known as WOW. And of course, they also have the WWE content, which includes new episodes of WWE Evolve.
Oh, okay. See. Yeah, I got. See,
Pandora's box has been opened.
I have not been able to look. Thank you, E, for that, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. We will still cover WWE. Okay. We will cover it, but at the rate they are going, I don't have time to be sitting here wasting and looking at something that's gonna make me go to sleep. Because like I said, when I get to the point where I just roll over and go to sleep, and yeah. And all y'all that know me know if it's wrestling, I'm gonna watch it. I watch Triple A. And I ain't got no clue what they saying. They are speaking in Spanish. I am sitting here going, that's right. I don't know what he said, but it sounds like he finna beat the crap out of you. I don't know what you did to him, but you might want to apologize before you get to that ring. So, I have watched the New Japan. And the only thing I know is when they do they have the English announce table, and when they be talking to each other, and I don't know nothing they be saying, and I got mad because I couldn't find the channel no more, and I was like, I missed that because honey, some of them dudes was interesting because one dude he went off. I mean, I know he cussed that man out. I know he was cussing that man out, and then he beat the crap out of that man. I was like, I don't know what you did to him. I don't know if he a good guy or a bad guy, but I like him. Because he just cussed you out and beat you up. Because I even told my daughter texted me one night and I was looking at it. And she was like, what you looking at? New Japanese wrestling? And she was like, what? Why? I was like, because it's fun. This is interesting.
Okay. Also, from the research department, for those of you trying to save your dollars, you could also go to Pluto TV, which, like Tubi, is free, and check out TNA Wrestling with 20 years of back episodes. and also Wrestling Central, where they have continuous action from NWA, WOW, and other wrestling content.
Oh,
And then
see, now
you
that's what
also
I'm
can
talking
catch
about.
on demand there Glow Wrestling and Lucha Libre AAA Wrestling, as well as Urban Wrestling Federation Wrestling.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, now, because like I said,
Free, 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 free.
I'm still gonna cover it. I'm still gonna cover them. I'm still gonna cover them. But we gonna go back in the day to when wrestling was wrestling, and now I know I got Tubi, and I think I got Pluto. If not, I'm gonna have hubby set this up where I got Pluto back here. So they give me more to watch and all that good stuff. So we're gonna start talking about old school because until they get their stuff together and really come with some strong storylines, and you're gonna have to start bringing up some of these new folks because folks are either getting injured or they're retiring.
Or they doing bootleg movies we ain't trying to see.
Exactly.
Shout out to the
I mean,
Miz.
because think about it. John is leaving. Cody done said when he signed his next contract, that's gonna be his last contract.
AJ Styles, gone.
Yeah, AJ Styles, next year is gonna be in for him.
Right, and then
Time
looking at
is
that list
running
of
out.
wrestlers under 30, that let me realize most of the wrestlers in WWE right now is over 30.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
CM
we go.
Punks of the world, all them damn near 50. They about to be up out of here.
Yep.
So
So
yeah, y'all, we got some old school wrestling fans that's been checking into the show. Hey, y'all got some stuff y'all want us to talk about? Certain classic matches, all of that stuff? Let us know. Again, hit us up in the IG, and we'll hook up and see what we can do. It'd be lovely. We could show some of them highlights. We'll see what we could work out.
exactly. Because it's WWE is changing. It's changing and it's not changing for the good. I realized how bad things had gotten with them, especially as far as their ticket prices. Now we all know WrestleMania will be in Vegas. Anytime I cannot sit and figure out how I can pull this off, I can't work the numbers out to make it work. There's a problem.
And remember, the year after, they talking about taking WrestleMania overseas.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, because 2027 WrestleMania will be in Saudi. Ain't nobody going no Saudi. Now I have seen people. I've seen one woman say she finna sell her house and go, and I'm like, well, God bless you with that. I wish you all the best with that. But yeah, um, when I was watching, but back to Tubi, I watched Evolve, and like I said, I felt sorry for that little dude, but I sat here, and then they started showing old NXT. I got to see the NXT when Roman and Seth was part of NXT. I mean, I got to see the one where they formed the Shield, honey. What you thought they was a menace on the main roster? That started back in NXT. That honey, they was beating up on some poor little dude. I don't even know who that little dude was. I was like, honey, fight back, bite him or something, do something, somebody help him. And honey, Dusty came out there. Dusty came out there and he told Seth he was going to defend his belt. And Roman mouthing, running off at the mouth and called Dusty old man. I done got mad. I said, who you think you talking to? I totally forgot that one, Dusty is no longer with us. Two, Roman is now the tribal chief. Three, this has already happened. What is you talking about? I'm at like this is y'all that I'm telling y'all, I'm just a fan like that. I'm acting like this is just happening. But they was a menace back then. And because that, honey, because Roman and Dean interfered, got to see Big E. Big E came out there. When Big E came out, they didn't want none of that. They backed up out of that ring. So Dustin said, next week you will defend that NXT title against Big E. So I'm like, well, please. I'm looking at the thing. I'm like, please play. And it played. The next episode was where he had to defend against Big E. Big E took that title off of Seth. See, I never knew I knew Seth was the NXT champion. He was the first NXT champion, but I never knew who took the title off of him, and it was Big E. They tried to jump on him when I said that locker room emptied out and jumped on Dean and Roman like they owed them some money. Them boys was not playing. That was a beatdown. But Big E got that win. I was like, this is lovely. I like this. And see, now that I know I got more stuff, I can go back. Because those older matches is harder to find. It's sometimes harder to find those. So, yeah, we're going to have us a good old time. But, so we done answered all the questions when I got we're good? Okay. So, I'm going to say that I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Any questions you have, anything you want us to talk about on the any wrestling you want us to talk about on the show, send it to either one of us on IG, and we will be ever so glad to talk about it. And we most definitely will answer your questions. I've had a ball. This has been so much fun. I like questions. We got to do more of them. So y'all keep them questions coming. So until, let's see, Thursday, I will see you guys then. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. So see you then. Bye.
This is the story about an African-American woman who is passionate about professional wrestling and goes to countless events. She then, one day, gets the idea to start a wrestling talk podcast to talk about her favorite wrestlers and wrestling programs. She has a home podcasting room full of wrestling memorabilia that she uses to do the show, and every week you can tune in and join in the conversation.